Good afternoon, Bronco fans. Good afternoon, Bronco fans. Good afternoon, Bronco fans. Happy Valentine's Day, Broncos. Good afternoon, Bronco fans. I'm Bryce McKinnis. Good afternoon, Broncos. I'm Bryce McKinnis, here to bring you your latest updates from UCO Athletics today, as well as high school sports from around the Edmond and OKC metro area. And today we'll start with the softball team, who picked up a huge win at home today. And in case you haven't heard, there's a pretty big tournament going on right now in college basketball. And next up is our high school sports highlight for the day, taking us to 15th Street, where Edmond Memorial played Norman on Saturday night for the regional championship. To that score total. And the next time down, Shawnette says, "Not in my house," and keeps the ball inbounds, and he has been terrific for Memorial this season, playing that one back in slow motion. And on the next time down, who other than Division I Texas State commit Drew Teniel slamming it home, and Memorial gets out to an easy 15-0 lead early in the game over the Tigers, but don't count Norman out yet. And look at this sequence. Caleb hits this free throw late in the game, and Tulsa Memorial's bench is so excited. They know they're about to win their third straight state title. Del City misses, and there is the famous dog pile at midcourt. Tulsa Memorial is cheering, and twin brothers Keelan and Caleb Boone sharing a moment with head coach Bobby Allison right there as they hoist the gold ball for the third time in a row. Next batter, Hallie Randolph, up with the bunt, benefits off the Angelo State error. She gets a single with that one. Runners on first and second, and who other than Joby Heath, last week's MIAA Hitter of the Week. She hacks at this one, and that one is gone forever for the three-run homer. She rounds out the bases as UCO takes the 8-2 lead in the fourth, and they would go on to win this one 10-2 by run rule to take down the #1 team in the country. And boy, is that UCO softball team rolling right now. They're off to their best start in school history. They're 14-1 with 12 straight wins and are ranked 19th in Division II right now. Make sure you stay tuned with us here at UCentral to follow their progress throughout the season, and make sure to follow at UCO Athletics on Twitter. Good afternoon, guys. I'm Bryce McKinnis, joined in studio today by Dylan Buckingham. Good to have you, Dylan.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Absolutely. So I kind of wanted to get into the world of professional sports, segue from college, and I wanted to talk about the Thunder in particular. They're third in the Western Conference right now. They come off of All-Star Weekend tomorrow night against the Jazz. Kind of talk about the trajectory of this team right now. Yeah, absolutely. And they're coming off 5 straight wins heading into the All-Star Weekend. They're 37-20 right now. What do you think their win total is going to have to be to get them into that 2 spot?
Into the 2 spot, probably around 58, 59. I think he'll probably be somewhere in the 37, 38 range. But again, that's something that's going to have to continue. Him and the hot play of Paul George right now.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of Paul George, Dylan, a lot of people are saying that he's inching closer and closer to James Harden every day in that MVP race. Harden having a historic season in Houston. The former Thunder player is averaging almost 37 points a game. Do you think that there's any way that Paul George is going to be able to catch up?
It might take an injury. I hate to say that. I'm not a guy that roots for injuries, but it might take an injury to James Harden.
UCO quarterback William Collins started 7 games in 2018 during his redshirt senior year, but his road to success has been anything but ordinary.
And Will Collins, he's in at quarterback for ULM here.
Will signed to play Division I football at the University of Louisiana Monroe out of Lawton MacArthur High School, where he won a state championship in 2014 and broke various school passing records. But despite winning the starting job his redshirt freshman year at ULM, he was plagued by injury and didn't see the field much his sophomore year.
I was always competing with this junior college kid. He was really good, and I kind of got hurt against Arkansas State, kind of pulled my hamstring, and then they put him in and just kind of never looked back. So then all of 2017, I was his backup. Got in very sparingly. Didn't even get to play any significant playing time because he never got hurt.
At the conclusion of the 2017 season, Collins decided that it was time to find a new home.
Look out inside the 30. Quarterback the only one trying to slow him down, and he won't get it done.
And that's when UCO called.
They were honestly the first people to talk to me as soon as I got my transfer stuff together, and I just, was really wanting to get it done. I just wanted to focus on playing.
But when Collins got on campus in Edmond, it was anything but a walk in the park.
Coming from a Division I school and thinking I was, God's gift to the world, I kind of didn't think Division II football was going to be as hard or, I could just breeze through it, and that is 100% the opposite. honestly, I just didn't learn the playbook very, very quick. And it was really frustrating because, like, I'm a pretty good player and, like, I knew I should have been playing.
Over time, Will found his rhythm and adjusted to the playbook. And when he finally got a chance to prove himself in Week 6, he didn't look back.
Looking left, scrambles out of the pocket, now raises, throws in the end zone, the catch is made! Ronald Monroe makes the grab!
After his first start, Collins became a staple in the UCO offense, and just 2 weeks later, he completed 19 of 24 passes and accounted for 3 touchdowns, in a performance that would earn him the Conference Player of the Week.
Deep inside the 20, makes the grab at the 10, at the 5, and into the end zone! Perfectly dropped in from Will Collins. And it's a
Collins would go on to lead the Broncos to an 8-4 record after taking over as the starter, including a comeback win over Angelo State to capture the Heart of Texas Bowl. More accolades came his way as he was named the MVP of that game when he threw for 367 yards and 4 touchdowns.
It felt really good, man, because throughout all of that, the transferring process, the getting benched at ULM, like after winning the state championship in high school, everyone's in your corner, but after getting humbled quite a bit, it kind of just seemed like my mom and dad were the only people really there for me, and like to see them be there for me when I excelled like that, I was very happy to get the opportunity to show them that.
As spring ball begins this week, you may wonder what's next for the hometown hero from Lawton. And if you ask the man himself, his expectations are as high as can be.
This is the year, man. I think that we can not only win the MIAA, but I think we can go make a playoff run and try to win a national championship. It's going to be super tough, but I think we've got the players and the coaches to do it. So.
For U Central Sports, I'm Bryce McInnes, Edmond, Oklahoma. The playoffs have started for Oklahoma high school basketball teams and will take place for the next 3 weekends. And while many schools will be left empty-handed on March 9th, there's always next year. But for one school in Oklahoma City, there won't be a next year. Centennial Mid-High School, whose basketball program was once a dominating powerhouse in 3A, winning back-to-back championships in 2011 and 2012, will be shutting down at the end of the school year.
It's a pretty good chance of it happening. These guys know that this is it. This could possibly be it. So they're working hard, giving it all they can give.
And if you ask anybody from around here, they'll tell you that basketball at Centennial is very important to this school and to this community.
Even when we leave here, even if we don't go to college or anything like that, we'll still play basketball. It's just something that we grew up doing, so we will always love to do it. If we really didn't have sports, a lot of kids would be in trouble or doing other things they shouldn't have no business doing.
It impacts a lot because, everybody actually cares about the team and they come to the games to support us.
But these seniors recognize that they still have one chance left, and they may have a very noble incentive to go out on top.
We got a chance to go get a title, show them that we shouldn't be shut down.
Monte Edmondson Jr., who is Centennial's all-time leading scorer, having amassed over 1,400 career points, is also the school's lone member of the 1,000-point club. And he'll also likely be the last.
We want to go out with a bang. We know that that's the news, so we're just trying to do everything we can, to go out on a positive note. For us, that's winning the 3A state championship.
Time hasn't run out yet for Monte and his fellow seniors, and the Bison plan on making the most out of the time that they have left.
Once you get to the postseason, to the area and the state tournament, even regionals, anything can happen.
Let's get it. Hey, team on defense, me on 6, 1, 2, 3.
From Oklahoma City, I'm Bryce McInnes, U Central Sports. Heritage Hall sophomore Trey Alexander is at your ordinary 15-year-old.
OU, OSU, Texas A&M, and Tulsa.
The 4 colleges he just mentioned are the schools he's already received scholarship offers from. Has it been a little overwhelming at times?
Yeah, a couple of times I just, like my parents, they tell me stay level-headed. I have to make sure that I'm on track, know what the main goal is, not to get caught up in everything that people are saying. But I'm just trying to sit back and just let everything take its course.
Leading Heritage Hall to a perfect 23-0 record in his sophomore year, Alexander and the Chargers are on the verge of winning back-to-back titles, thanks to the play from number 23. What's it like just at this point in your career?
It's definitely like a step up from my freshman to my sophomore year. My freshman year was more of like seeing how I was going to be able to play against competition, and now my sophomore year is like I know where I stand and I need to try to keep leveling up each year.
And that he has. Alexander averaged over 19 points and 7 rebounds a game in his freshman season, including a 27-point performance against Kingfisher to claim the 4A state championship. However, he doesn't believe his best skill is scoring the basketball.
And then me as like a passer, I try to work on like getting my teammates involved, because I know if I get my teammate to hit that shot down the stretch, then that helps me in a big way, because then teams can't just focus in on me. I can hit the open guy. My court vision is mainly dependent on how the defender plays me or like what type of offense there is. So if I know that a defense is in like a 2-3 or a 3-2, something like that, I know that their weaker defenders are going to be on like the corners, like having to run out to the corner.
Trey has been named as the top player in the state of Oklahoma for the class of 2021. For the future Division I star, preparation is essential to his success.
I think film study is the most important thing about this team, because when we watch film, everybody knows like what they can do better. And then Sully, sometimes he takes us in like one-on-ones, seeing what we can do better, because you know when you individually level up, you're helping the team in any type of way that you provide or play your role. So I feel like film study is definitely one of the most important things that we do here.
Last, I asked Trey the question everybody wants to know the answer to.
Do you have kind of any leads on what you're thinking right now?
Not really. Like I've grown to have a good connection with each coach, but I haven't really I'm not even trying to worry about that right now.
And that's one answer we'll have to wait on. From Oklahoma City, I'm Bryce McInnes, U Central News.